Hello, everyone. It's Pauline from Chronically Spicy, and I am here because I'm going to be reading an article on what to do if your Epipen misfires on you. Uh, I don't know. I don't think I can screen share over here. Um, Let me see. Because I decided just to go live because my streaming service that I usually use, um, I use the free version, did not want to let me actually do that for some reason. Uh, First time that's ever happened. So, not quite sure why that happened. Unfortunately, I won't be able to screen share, but I can definitely read you what I've got. Um, and the reason we're here is because we're going to talk about the fact that I'm still awake because of Epipen misfires. Um, right here. Both of these EpiPens were used in the last 48 hours because I have a lot of allergies and I have mast cell activation syndrome. And the mast cell alone, MCAS, can result in up to, sometimes my average is anywhere between 2 and 4 reactions per day. Um, and then I also have latex allergy and coconut allergy, both anaphylactic. And uh, sometimes things happen. You run into balloons you weren't expecting, or you accidentally eat something that contains an allergen. That just happens. Um, 1 second, these are low battery now. I just got the warning because, of course, everything's going to go wrong at the same time. Okay, cool. This says 100%. So let's see if these work and get this into, where is the, oh, we are on a roll right now. Okay, anyway. So I found, let's go, here we go. Where are we? Here we are. All right. So join me on YouTube, Chronically Spicy. And please tap the, what is gift ambassador? I have no idea. So I'm talking about EpiPens and Misfire. Yes, both of these were used in the last 48 hours. Because fun. I've been having a good old time. All right. I found an article on EpiPens and Misfires. Hi, Kate. How are you? Hey, Swoozy. I like that name. Kate, let me know if you want to go, if you want to jump in, but I'm going to do a read first. All right. Um, all right. I can't screen share, but let me find. Here we go. This is, so a few days ago. I mean, I've had Teppy a lot in the last month, and I'm thinking, I don't know if it's just bad luck. It's just luck. Um, but one of these was, this is the Misfire one, and you can tell because that line and that line don't look the same. This one worked, this one did not, and I took it to a pharmacy, and the pharmacist confirmed that this one did work. I had to use this one second. This one was the one that I used first, and it did not. The epinephrine is still in the pen, and the problem is that once you have actually tried, once it's clicked, It doesn't. You're. It's one and done. You can't. You can't epi it again, and you can't get it. It's just stuck. Um, so I found an article on Jacoby and Myers personal injury attorneys. Can an EpiPen fail? What happens if it does? And here's what the article says. Please share if you stop by, trying to get back on the YouTube map. And if you are interested, I'd love to see you and my subscribers and Patreon supporters for the inside scoop and first to know on some things that I share publicly, some things that I don't, and you get some of the news first. Links are in my bio, and I will add my link tree to the description box on YouTube. All right. Some people have severe allergic reactions to certain foods and medications, such as nuts, shellfish, or antibiotics. This is on Jacoby and Myers, jnlawyer.com. Other severe allergy catalysts include bee stings or certain dyes or chemicals. An allergic reaction can come on quickly after exposure to the allergen. Because of this, doctors often recommend that these individuals carry an epinephrine auto-injector, commonly referred to by the brand name Epipen, everywhere they go. This way, the individual can obtain the medicine they need to combat a serious allergic reaction as quickly as possible. Now, I'll interject here and say that I have a friend who is a nurse with latex allergy and mast cell activation syndrome who told me that she always carries 4 at a time. I currently only carry 2 at a time, but I will be asking my doctors for more because according to the Mayo Clinic, I'm supposed to be epiing if I have either anaphylaxis or facial angioedema, facial swelling. And that alone can happen probably once daily. So we need to talk about that. I'll be talking about that with my doctors for sure. But that's when I get with my new team of doctors or slash the old team of doctors when we move back to the Minnesota, Wisconsin area. All right, back to the Jacoby and Myers personal injury attorneys. jnlawyer.com is the article that I'm reading from. All right, so she carries 4 EpiPens. My friend who is a nurse with mast cell and latex allergy, both conditions that I also have, she carries 4 because she's like, sometimes they misfire. And I'm like, okay. And then guess what? It happened to me. This one did not work. And I know that because when I pulled it away from my thigh, 1, I didn't feel anything. And 2, when I pulled it away from the protective cover was still on. And I tried taking it off because I didn't to re-administer, and I did not realize that once it's clicked, it's done. You can't do it again. So unfortunately, EpiPens can fail in several ways, resulting in an individual not getting the medication they need to stop the allergic reaction. In fact, the U.S. Food and Drug Administration, the federal agency tasked with ensuring the safety of foods and medications sold to consumers in the U.S., received hundreds of complaints about EpiPens, including complaints about EpiPen failing. Who's liable after an EpiPen failure, and how do you go about filing a claim? Read on to learn more about EpiPen failures and liability law from our experienced product liability attorneys at Jacoby and Myers LLP. So how the EpiPen works. Epi auto injectors inject a pre-measured dose of epinephrine directly into the body. Epinephrine reverses anaphylaxis symptoms, 2 or more body systems affected at once, and reverses anaphylaxis symptoms caused by the blood vessels, causing the blood vessels to constrict and relaxing airway muscles. The injector is designed for the most rapid delivery possible, with injection taking place in the thigh through clothing if necessary. The types of EpiPen failures that can occur. The most common EpiPen failure occurs either when the injector needle deploys too early or the injector needle becomes clogged. In the first example, the contents spill without delivering the vital hormone to the victim. In a clogged needle, the medicine may not dispense at all or in too small a dose to effectively treat the reaction. That is what happened to me. That's exactly what happened to me. Let's see. So, what happens when an EpiPen fails? Check out, follow me on YouTube, subscribe to my YouTube channel. All right, so if an EpiPen fails, as noted by the FDA, if a person is experiencing an allergic reaction, an anaphylaxis, and cannot access life-saving epinephrine due to the syringe malfunction, it can lead to life-threatening consequences, including unaliving. Those who survive despite the device failure face serious life-altering implications. Often, when the FDA receives several similar complaints about a product, they will begin an investigation into the product. If the complaints are valid, the manufacturer will often voluntarily recall the product, and with the FDA assisting in administering the recall. A product recall will notify consumers who will obtain instructions on whether to stop using the product or how to get a replacement or repair to make the product safe. The company may also face legal claims from those who suffered injury or loss due to the defect. 3 types of defects can result in a product liability claim. Defects involving the product's design often affect every lot of the product produced using that design. When recalls only list certain lots of a product, a manufacturing error may have caused a defect in that specific lot. If a recall involves a problem with the product's labeling, such as the failure to include instructions or disclose known risks of using the product may undergo required changes to the package label to include that information. Health complications for the EpiPen. The most serious complications from an EpiPen failure involve the individual's inability to treat a severe allergic reaction quickly. This can result in anaphylaxis, which we're going to read this first and then I'll correct. This can result in anaphylaxis, which occurs when the body's immune system overreacts to an allergen, resulting in inflammation of the airway, which causes the sufferer to have difficulty breathing. This overreaction can also cause a widening of the blood vessels, resulting in low blood pressure. First of all, anaphylaxis and anaphylactic shock are often confused. And the terms are used interchangeably when that's not the case. Anaphylaxis is 2 or more body systems affected at once. Your airway does not have to be affected for it to be anaphylaxis. It can be gastro symptoms and a rash. It can be hives and stridor, like asthma breathing. It can be salivary glands shutting down and impending doom, anxiety feeling in your chest. It can be any 2 body systems or more affected at once is anaphylaxis. When we get to the fact that your airway is already closing and your blood pressure is dropping, that's anaphylactic shock, and you'll already at that point need to have been epied and either in the back of an ambulance or on the way to the hospital in the passenger seat, because by then you anaphylactic shock is that's when you might not be able to come back from. Okay, so that's very, very, very serious. So when the Jacoby and Myers, if you see this, let's talk, because we need to, you've got some great information here, but we need to update to correct what is being explained here. Some of the symptoms of anaphylaxis include, I'm going to, and anaphylactic shock, okay? Difficulty breathing, suddenly feeling too warm, a skin reaction such as hives or flushed skin, nausea, vomiting, or diarrhea, a swollen tongue or lips, a runny nose and sneezing, tingling hands, feet, or scalp, a feeling that something is wrong, that impending doom feeling, sudden dizziness or confusion. Failing to promptly treat anaphylaxis with an EpiPen and a follow-up visit to the emergency room can lead to serious or even fatal complications. Some of the complications of anaphylaxis include brain damage from lack of oxygen, kidney failure, the inability of your heart to pump enough blood to all parts of the body, an irregular heartbeat, heart attack, or unaliving. Financial implications. Individuals who sustain an injury due to the defective EpiPen that failed to provide needed medication can face several financial burdens, including medical expenses, lost wages, and loss of future earning capacity due to complications from anaphylactic shock, affecting the sufferer's quality of life. Having a serious medical issue, such as the potential for anaphylaxis, is serious enough for many allergy sufferers to carry an EpiPen wherever they go. I highly recommend, I'm not giving medical advice, but talk to your doctor. Based on every medical professional who is following me on social media, I've learned that you carry at least two. Well, I learned that lesson again when one of these did not work. That was this one. See that? That one did not work. The epinephrine is still inside the pen, and it's literally trapped in there. I can't do anything with it. I have to uh, contact the manufacturer again and see if I can get a voucher for a new pen, because I got shorted a pen. So there you go. Should I contact a lawyer after my EpiPen injury? Last year, I'm not sure what year this was written, court documents revealed that Mylan, the manufacturer of the EpiPen brand, had increased the cost of its medication from slightly over $100 for a 2-pack to more than $600. Yeah, EpiPen prices are a different topic that we need to talk about at one point. At the same time, the company was reportedly making large political donations to U.S. Senator Joe Manchin, who happened to be the father of Mylan's CEO. Interesting. No conflict of interest there. If pharmaceutical companies fail to invest their profits into the quality of their product and the safety of the consumer, they will wind up investing their profits into paying claims filed against them by injured consumers or the family members of those who passed away while trying to use it. A product liability lawyer's goal is to act in their client's best interest. It is not the attorney's job to make the important decision about the claim, such as filing a claim, or accepting an offered settlement, but to search for the best way to help their client obtain the compensation they need after becoming injured due to a product defect. So you can contact a product liability lawyer to find out if you have options if that happens to you. Investigating an EpiPen claim includes uh, determining the source of liability, the liability insurance resource associated with the at-fault party that can provide your compensation, and additionally, your product liability lawyer will also seek evidence and witness testimony that proves the elements of your claim, which must include the consumer used the product as directed, the product was defective, the consumer suffered an injury or passed away, the product's defect was the cause of the result. Product liability is usually a strict liability claim, unlike other personal injury claims like car accident claims. This means that the claimant does not need to prove the manufacturer was negligent, only that the product was defective and resulted in injury. Your attorney will also collect documentation to prove your expenses and establish a value for your claim based on several factors. Those factors include how severely you were injured, the actual expenses you incurred, and the amount of compensation available through the manufacturer or insurance. To file a claim, Most plaintiffs file product liability claims against the manufacturer directly or against the insurance policy of the at-fault manufacturer. And when the at-fault party or insurer provider receives a claim, they have three options. Whoever's here on TikTok, I love you. All right. Accept liability for the injury or the passing away and then pay the claim in full. 2. Deny liability for the injury or passing away. I'm cold. We're in Georgia. It's 80-something degrees. I'm cold inside the house, but okay. I also updated today, so yay. That occurred and notify the claimant of the reason for the denial. Offer an out-of-court settlement for less than the full amount of the claim. That's the third option. One thing that makes product liability claims complex is that they often affect hundreds or even thousands of people. Because of this, it's not unusual for numerous causes with similar claims of fact against a manufacturer to be joined, at least temporarily, to move these claims through the legal process more efficiently. If the manufacturer faces a class action or multi-district litigation for the same issue that causes your injury or loss, your attorney will understand the implications of your claim. You can negotiate a settlement for your Epipen case with an out-of-court settlement, but don't be surprised if the initial offer is far below the value of your claim. They almost always are, and your attorney will then work on negotiations, sometimes with a mediator, to get them to increase their offer. However, whether to accept a settlement is always the client's decision. Your attorney can help you understand the value of your claim and the offer before you decide. The product liability lawyer can also inform you about the settlement payout timeline, assisting you in collecting your compensation or award. Whether your case is tried singly in the state where you reside or as part of a more significant case against a manufacturer, because I had an Epipen failure. First misfire ever. I will never, ever, ever leave the house again with just one. And I'm requesting from my doctor a new prescription for 4 Epipen case boxes of 2. Because of this particular incident. My pharmacist told me that he has one patient who comes in and picks up every prescription. Refill is for 2 packs of EpiPens. Granted, I'm lucky and my copay is only $15 for a box of 2 because of my health insurance. But I know that's not the case for everyone, and that's a different video because that's a big topic too. You can afford an experienced Epipen lawyer. Okay. Free case evaluations for Epipen victims. Most of these, basically, if a person passed away because an Epipen failed, you're getting a lawyer. Like the lawyer is going to say yes. And if there's an injury, if you suffer from any kind of injury that affects your life, that is documentable and provable and quantifiable, then you most likely can also get a lawyer to take your case. But if your first pen failed and your second pen worked and you're fine, let's just say I probably won't be calling in a lawyer because I had a second pen and it did work. But the potential claimant can also learn more about the claims process and the law firm services by talking to a lawyer. And so that means they use contingency fee billing, meaning that number one, they're not going to take your case unless they know that they can win or they're going to get a settlement. And number two, when they do, I think here it says the law firm receives a percentage of the settlement or court award after the case. I believe it's 33.3% is the average. So they're not going to take a case unless the 33.3% of what they estimate will be awarded either through a settlement, out of court offer, or from a jury is going to be substantial enough. They're not going to take the case either. So that really sucks because there are some frivolous lawsuits out there where you're like, how the hell did that person get a lawyer? And you're sitting here going, but my EpiPen failed. Well, yeah, but you're still alive. And then you're like thinking, great, so do I need a t-shirt that says, did you die? But did you die? It's like, you know what, really? It's just some stuff just isn't fair. And that is unfortunately the reality of what's going on with when it comes to EpiPens and food allergies and other issues like that. Who is hanging out on YouTube? Can I see you? No bio. Hi, user. How are you? All right. So that's an article from Jacoby and Myers. And it was posted in 2022. So it's relatively recent. Just a few, just a very small section that I think needs to be rewritten. Just because EpiPen or anaphylaxis and anaphylactic shock were kind of used interchangeably. And that's one of the things I advocate about when I'm doing videos and trying to explain the difference between the two, because thanks to every medical drama out there from before when streaming services existed, think ER in Grey's Anatomy and shows like that. Every severe allergic reaction is somebody suddenly clutching at their throat because it's closing, because they ate a peanut or something and now they can't breathe, and there happens to be a doctor in the house and they have to do a tracheotomy like right on the spot to intubate the pen or the pencil intubation to save the person's life and open their airway. And everyone calls that anaphylaxis. No. Once you get to the anaphylaxis is 2 or more body systems affected at once. That, hello, YouTube, whoever's here on YouTube. So yeah, 2 or more body systems affected at once. That's anaphylaxis. And most people don't know that. I didn't learn that until like 2 years ago, a year ago. And I can't tell you how many times I should have epied, but did not, because I was not aware that I needed to epi. In fact, my current physician has my current physician told me only to epi if my airway was if I thought I was going to pass away. And my airway was affected, and she then changed after I'm a Mayo Clinic patient. We've been going all summer for full evaluations and getting diagnosed with absolutely every condition. Almost, we got so many. I feel like I was collecting Pokemon with the number of chronic illnesses and everything that we were diagnosed with, and I caught them all. I caught every single freaking one of them. Yeah, and I already have established. So with the mast cell activation syndrome, which is going to result in multiple anaphylactoid reactions to things that I'm not even actually allergic to, perhaps. But my body is like, hey, look, you're allergic to it right now. It's just not going to show up on a test. So doctors are going to think you're crazy. and then the latex allergy and the coconut allergy. Yeah, I need more than 2 of these, especially if, and I'm not even kidding. I just looked at my Mayo Clinic. Let me put these. I currently have these in a used Powerade jar or bottle as a temporary sharps container, so that I can take a picture of both pens and send it to the manufacturer by email, so that I can then contact the pharmacy and request a voucher for a free replacement pen. But that's that's why I still have them, because holy cow. But yeah, I'm gonna be using Epi frequently because my new Mayo Clinic emergency room visit directions say that I'm supposed to use it daily. Mm-hmm. Exact wording essentially was use as needed for anaphylaxis and or facial angioedema. I get facial swelling all the time. Usually at least once, usually probably once a day. Um, I get, I mean, it's still there. You can see it, but it's not as bad as it was, and I don't have other symptoms with it anymore because the first epi worked tonight. Thank goodness. So there you go. If your EpiPen does not work, go to the ER if you don't have a second one. Call an ambulance if you do not have a second one. Yes, I know rides in the wee woo van are very expensive, but if you get an Uber, just get to the hospital. And if you do not have a second epi, in fact, my personal tip, I'm not giving medical advice, I'm just sharing personal experience, is if I use an EpiPen, I call and let the pharmacy know that I need my prescription refilled because I am not going to be caught with just one epi again. And when right now, saying that, I have just one epi right now because I had to epi, of course, and there's no 24-hour pharmacies around where I live. They all close it by 8 o'clock. So I have to wait till tomorrow to let them to find out if I can pick up another box of EpiPens tomorrow. All right, so that is the name of the game on what you need to know if your EpiPen fails. Number one, if your EpiPen fails and you do not have a second one, call for emergency services or have a loved one drive you to the ER immediately. Number two, if you have a second pen, use the second pen. And if that one works,
it's almost 5. It's almost 4.
I know. I'm almost done. I'm hanging up. Hanging up. And if that one works, then hanging up. And if that one works, then if you follow your doctor's rescue plan, which is most likely going to be to go to the ER anyway for evaluation, for observation, for like
we have
3
to
to 4
pack
hours.
Tomorrow.
Huh? I know. I'm almost.
I know, but you're the one who said that we're going to pack tomorrow.
Okay. All right. Okay. So anyway, I definitely mean more than one. That's what I carry. Okay. So I'm getting ready for bed now because my 17-year-old just reminded me that we're packing tomorrow. Or I might just stay up at this point. We'll see. Because I was waiting to make sure I didn't need to epi again. Okay. So, have a good night, and I will try to go live again tomorrow with another informational read for allergies and allergies in the news. Stay safe, and if you have any questions, please leave them in the comments. Have a great night and stay safe.